So I want to talk a little bit about the business, UtilityAPI, and the software. So the role of software in the clean energy transition. So you guys have received rave reviews from customers like Tesla, Engie, EDF. How do you see software and specifically UtilityAPI's platform accelerating the clean energy transition?
I mean, how much time do we have?
Are you a fan?
It is. Software is key. We really feel that the services that we provide through our software are actually fundamental to enabling the clean energy future that we all want if we're ever going to have a chance at fighting climate change. Software allows for efficiency and optimization, and I can throw one more in there, automation. Mm-hmm. If you can lower costs using, our tools, we standardize data and control consent, who's allowed to see that data. Mm-hmm. Those are processes that before we existed that could take over a month just to get the data you needed for a project. And so if you're trying to build solar panels or buy a new electric vehicle or put a battery in a commercial building, and it takes a month just to get the data to build your project, you can do 12 a year. Obviously, you can scale it and have a bunch of teams doing that. With us, that same process can take seconds. And also the cost. If you have the ability to be able to see data quickly and easily and model it quickly, your cost goes down as well in labor. So it's the idea of software is just enabling infrastructure, at least the way that we look at it, our software. And it is crucial. Without that, I mean, could you imagine someday, people talk about, there's a problem with the grid right now in California, actually. We can talk about current times. We have potential to have blackouts because there's not enough supply on the grid. Sure. But it's really because the grid's old and it doesn't know how to take advantage of the technologies that we have available today. And software utilized correctly can help that. It's the next stage of where this industry needs to go. And there's real world impacts, right? We're seeing them here in California right now. We can solve those through just, cheaper solutions that come because of, leveraging what you already have, some new technologies. We really feel that's, as a climate fighting company, that's really exciting for us.
Yeah. And I mean, what do you see the industry trends are for the business model that you have? Like, what are the strongest drivers? You obviously mentioned climate change, the fires. I mean, what other drivers are you seeing?
There's a few. There's just making money, right? Mm-hmm. Most companies like to do that throughout the industry. And, mm-hmm. And right now things are very inefficient. It's hard to forecast long-term sales in an environment that is slowly moving. So by bringing software tools to the table in the industry, they can actually help accelerate the change that we all know is happening. Mm-hmm. It's much easier to then optimize that transition. The other is we are likely at some point going to have, right now we have clean energy mandates, decarbonization mandates, right? And so it's regulatory pressure. The industry, though, I think understands, and we're all moving towards, at some point there's going to be a market pressure. Right. There is going to be either a price on carbon or there will be enough incentives in the market so that the idea of changing how we all use energy will be based on price. And I say price on purpose. Most people, you ask a random person walking down the street, like, hey, you care about saving energy? They're like, sure, why not? Until they want to use their air conditioner and it's hot. And you're like, oh, you want to save energy, don't use it, right? But if you say, I'll save you money, do you want to save money? People are willing to get a little warmer if they know they're saving some real money. Right. And so turning those into market-driven processes based on price signals and the ability for people to make real decisions or to automate those decision-making processes for them. Right. I see the industry going that direction, and software like ours is a big piece of that.
Okay. So I want to talk about Hive, the project that you did with Silicon Valley Clean Energy, which GTM highlighted. I know is one of your favorite projects. Tell us a little bit about it and any other projects that you're working on that you're really excited about.
Yeah, that one is great. We we've been building technology and software for the idea that data sharing should be offered by utilities. That groups like Silicon Valley Clean Energy should be able to enable their customers and their businesses in their area to be able to share data easily. And without going too deep into what that really changes the paradigm of what's possible in the clean tech sector. And so we've now enabled that, and that's beyond exciting. But the next step, or what sometimes that gets me even more enlivened, is the idea that we're an API. And for those of y'all that don't really understand what that means, it just means it's easy to connect to something to use it. And so we have a lot of users that just start using our tools for use cases that we couldn't have even imagined. And the idea that we are enabling innovative, smart, young companies to just come up with new stuff to do with energy data based on our tools is what actually keeps me super, super excited, because our job is to make sure that this data infrastructure works. The use cases come from the market outside of us, and that keeps growing. So I can't wait to see what someone does using us next.
Great. Well, I'll leave it on that note. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. This has been a blast.